So 3 weeks to learn Salesforce or get your head around what it was, and how do you do that? How do you approach going from not knowing what CRM or Salesforce is to then starting a project to implement Salesforce for a client?
Well, literally, I remember Googling Salesforce online learning.
Okay.
Because that's all I could do.
Yeah.
I didn't know anyone in Salesforce. I had no contacts. I obviously had no mentor. I'd never heard of Trailhead or anything. So I ended up on YouTube, and I found Dreamforce videos from 2013.
Okay.
So I spent a good while in those, probably the better part of a week, full time, just getting an idea of what Salesforce was, how it worked, the real basics. And then thankfully I stumbled across Trailhead, and when I found that there was a structured online learning curriculum and it was free, I was ecstatic. Yeah.
How long had Trailhead been going then at that point? Because obviously
not
it's
very
huge
long.
now.
Yeah, I don't think Trailhead had been going a real long time at that point, because I know I've spoken to people that learned Salesforce, I think 3 years ago, and I don't believe that they had Trailhead. So I don't know how they did it, but anyway,
sure,
hats off to them.
So Trailhead now, it's such a big tool. There's so many different trails. There's so many different modules. I'm guessing it was quite pulled back from that when you started looking. But how did you learn? How do you approach learning Salesforce and with Trailhead and getting your head across what you needed to know?
Well, I started with the basic trails, so basic admin. But pretty much what happened then was I have learned as I've done.
Sure.
So pretty much I'd go into work. I start really early. I figured that my boss is paying me, but he's only getting half my time as far as productivity goes.
Yeah.
So I worked very long hours, began at 6 generally, opened up the office, got there, and really spend the first part of my day trying to take the business requirements and then figure out how to reflect that in Salesforce. Once I knew what I needed to do, then I needed to know how to do it. That's when I got into Trailhead. That's when I got into the community.
Yeah.
And another aspect of this that is really funny is that I was also hired in a financial services business, and prior to working in it, I had absolutely no understanding of that industry whatsoever either. So I not only had to learn Salesforce,
sure,
I had to learn what's an SMSF, investments, compliance. It's a huge learning curve. And I must say, the first 3 months were incredibly terrifying.
How did you, not why, but how did you keep motivated? Because it's scary, right? Like you said, it's something you don't know that you're trying to get your head across, and I'm guessing there are times where it was like, what am I doing? How do I even do this? Or how do I learn all of this stuff in such a short period of time? So how do you keep with that and keep going through the trials and learning as you go?
For me, I guess I love a challenge. I love learning. I've always loved learning, and I have a wife and a son, and we had got in a real financial mess through everything that had happened with my health. And so I was very motivated just to look after my family. And I saw potential in this as a career path.
Yeah.
I love the tech. As soon as I started using Salesforce, I thought this is the coolest system ever. So that helped me be motivated. But also I began to make friends in the community.
Sure.
Through Twitter, through the Trailblazer community, which used to be called the Success community.
Sure.
And I began to get encouraged through them. And I think all those factors together, as well as just, I'm blessed with great friends, and they would encourage me. My boss, would encourage me, felt that I could do this. But there were many times I came really close to just saying, it's too hard, you hired the wrong guy, go get a consultant and I'll go do something else. But I'm glad I didn't.